All right, recording. And oh yeah, if we have any yabs or you want anything cut out, just let me know because this is all just pre-recorded. We can cut whatever out.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, everybody,
I'm
welcome to the first.
surprised Raccoon and Frapolo even know what yabs are.
Nice.
Good start.
Nice.
Oh, you might not. Hey, you guys aren't VTubers. You're PNG tubers. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a PNG
No, what is
tuber.
it? What do they call it on YouTube?
I call PNG tuber, I believe, yeah.
VTubers, no?
No, VTuber is Jones, and that's it, I believe.
No, no, sorry. PNG tuber is the wrong term. It's Rantsona. You guys are Rantsoners.
Rantsona.
okay.
Why is that called
Rantsona.
Yeah, well,
That
see,
sounds like a ligma.
no, you're Rantsoners because you come from the Western tradition. That's the distinction. Whereas Bones and I, we are from the VTuber, which is we're VTubers because we're from the Japanese tradition.
Give me a second.
Because we're friggin' weebs.
We are.
Damn.
It comes down to a question of who inspired you. Was it Hololive or Japanese VTubers, or was it just Western stuff?
To me, what inspired me to be PNG tuber, I guess, it's that nothing actually.
Nothing.
I live with my brother. Yeah, I live with my brother, and I don't want to show him to anyone in real life. So I cannot have a camera, sadly. And the best way for me to show a face when I'm streaming is just with a PNG. When I'm gonna move someday from my home, I'll probably use a camera.
So how come you decided to stream with what made you choose that avatar?
Well, when I was a kid, when I was 13 years old, I used to be in a part of a group where I had to choose something to be able to have a sauna, and they said I couldn't be just Matias. I need to be something else. So a sauna. Yeah, you wouldn't be like I don't know what your real name is, but Fiorellino. It's not Fiorellino. It's Frapolo, right? Jones. It's not Jones. It's Albon Jones, right? So I had to choose a dark raccoon, for example. Decided on that. I actually had another character before this one, but I kind of don't want to touch on it.
So okay. Instead of being a Rantsona, you're just more of a furry.
I ended up being a furry, I guess.
But you hate furries, correct?
I hate furries, yeah, with all my heart.
Self-hating furry, wow.
Yes.
Me too. Finally something we all agree on. How about you, Frapolo? How'd you choose your looking name?
So basically, if you're talking just about the name, I may say that when I was very young, basically my brother used as a name in video games Lolopolo95, and I thought, since I'm younger than my brother, I should be Frapolo94, because Polo is just an Italian term that means chicken, and then Lolo was the start of his name, and then I took a part of my name, which is Fra, and I just called myself Frapolo94. And then the image is just Karnaki from Black Souls 2, because I love that game, and it's probably one of the games that made me decide to start recording and uploading videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I'm really kind of surprised that you guys are allowed to play Black Souls so much on stream, even though it's censored. It's still pretty extreme, though, right?
Yeah, you shouldn't play that.
I mean, when you pick the option to not have the porn, it's just an RPG.
Yeah, you're gonna miss a little bit of lore because, and I'm not joking, H scenes have lore. I'm not joking. But still, it's pretty enjoyable even without the H scenes.
Yeah, H scenes have lore, and you just read it for the articles, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm definitely just playing for the lore, guys.
One of those animes that you start for the porn and then you continue for the plot.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm guessing like Gantz. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Did you watch Guns for the porn? That there's only
there's
the
a
girl.
Lot of porn in anime, to be honest. Yeah.
I mean, if you consider dismembering the aliens porn.
No, what
then
do you mean? Do you not know the relationship?
Well, you didn't realize that,
like, character?
Yeah, Frapolo, you didn't realize that Black Souls and like Loner were like meant for people to get off on.
I mean, wait, what?
That was what we were talking about that before.
Have you seen the art for Black Souls? Getting off to it would be more difficult than beating the game.
I mean, sure, but like it's Japanese, and you know what the Japanese are like in this regard.
Of course, but I mean, it can be enjoyed even without considering that part. That's what I meant.
Sure.
Is this a Black Souls discussion right now?
Oh yeah, I guess.
It's a rant towards you being an idiot. We're gonna say.
Shut up.
No, I guess we did have some topics to go through, didn't we? Oh yeah, first on the list was how we got into Fear and Hunger.
I have a long story, so if anyone wants to start before me,
Yeah, who was going first?
A nice idea.
Let's go. Who's alphabetical first?
I've got a pretty short story about it. I used to have a policy where if you bought me a game on Steam, I had to stream it. And someone bought me this. So
that's great. Nice and simple.
So you were a sellout, pretty much.
I mean, yeah, I was figuring if the whole streaming thing didn't work out, I could just sell the Steam account.
Okay.
How many games did you end up with?
Oh, God, like fucking 150 or something?
Oh, Jesus.
God damn it.
People just buying it.
Start doing it well.
Interesting.
You hear a lot of pay pics, Jones.
I know. I still can't get over the fact that someone paid like... God, what the fuck was it? I think I still have it written down. Hold on a moment. Yeah. Fucking over $2,000 for my tooth when I put that up for in a bid war.
Oh, that was... I forgot about that.
$2,000?
Do you want to tell that story, Bones?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, the short version is my face and jaw got fucked up a bit. Probably have to censor that for your YouTube. I'll probably try to cut down on the cursing. And I needed a bit of orthodontic surgery. And I was like, hey, you know what'd be funny if I started a bid war and sold it. And that bid war went fucking nuclear. With the winner paying fucking $2,000 for it. But like the way I set it up is that anyone who donated bits would be put in the running. And because it was a bid war and I got to keep all of the bids, the total I made off of it was like close to $6,000 USD.
Huh?
That's wild.
How? What the fuck?
Fangirls are weird, man.
Yeah. We love our fangirls here, though. When you do that for Apollo, do you have your throat like right up to the mic?
I hate
will
it.
not confirm or deny this.
I hate it. Every single time I hate it. I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
Do it, I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
Save that one for the fangirls, right?
Yeah, I know,
that's
right?
just for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Follow me on OnlyFans.
Just 60 clips of him doing that over and over again.
It's just every day. It's just another recording of that, just every morning.
Imagine a 10-hour version of Apollo just gulping.
And then one of them is just pissing.
No, we don't talk about that here. But anyways, let's recompose ourselves. So
okay.
Would you like to continue with that question, or should I go with it?
Oh yeah, for Apollo, you want to
go, Raccoon.
Say
I want
how
to see
you
the
found
long story, so we cannot end with a boring thing. So go ahead, Raccoon.
All right. Wait a second. What?
I love you. I said I love you.
Thank you. Okay, listen to me. I have a really long story, and you might have to blur some stuff from this because it's actually.
Okay.
So, 2 years before Termina, I was shown this game Fear and Hunger by a friend of mine, and I saw it, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe that someone was saying, right? I couldn't believe that you could do a sacrifice with the little girl with Moonless. I couldn't believe that you could have intimate moments with your party members as well as the little girl and Moonless. Even though the game doesn't let you, the option was still there. I couldn't believe the Harvestman scene. I couldn't believe so many things that were happening. I couldn't believe the fact that you would lose your arms and you couldn't get them back. There was a lot of things that I felt like it was a taboo game that I didn't want to touch. And I felt repulsed. I felt pushed away. I felt angry. I didn't know why I was getting my friend into the game. I hated it. I didn't like it. So when I looked at it, I ignored it for 2 years and I didn't want to get into it. I hated it to the point that I didn't want to know anything about it. And I just felt angry about it that something like that could exist and was getting any support. But then Fear and Hunger 2 came out and I was like, hang on a second, this game I know it from somewhere. And at that time, my anger had subsided and I felt a lot more relaxed about it. So I clicked it and I saw the trailer. Well, not the trailer, but the video of Mito showing up the mob. Do you guys know what video I'm talking about?
No,
no, I don't think so.
I never followed your channel.
There, you should. There's a video of Mito showcasing the mob with Levi. Levi's walking down like a place near a mine, and he gets attacked by the mob. And that's the whole video. You're not shown what the mob does. You're not shown what anything happens. It's just a video of Levi with one character against 3 enemies, and that destroyed me. That was like, I need to play this. I must play it. The sound build up of you just hearing like this bottle crash noise, then the chainsaw showing up, then there's a shot in the on the left to your left ear, stuff like that build up the fear in me of wanting to know how can I get into that situation, and it delivered. I waited 1 to 2 months, and Fear Hunger 2 came out, and I played it, and it didn't feel like Fear Hunger 1, where every single jump scare or like scare was just pushed towards you. Like you see a guard that has a dick, boom, you get right. You see, you spend too much time outside, you get dogs just jumping towards you. You end up saying yes to torture, you just get killed, stuff like that. There wasn't any build up to scares. While in Fear Hunger 2, I feel like there's a lot more build up to everything. Like
can
you're
I ask
showing
something?
a coffin. Oh yeah, sure.
How much did you play Fear and Hunger 1, just to know?
Fear and Hunger 1, I didn't want to play it at all, so I didn't touch it.
So you basically started with Termina then?
Yes. I couldn't. I watched my friend play. I was like, this makes no sense. I hate it. I don't like it. But however, I did appreciate Fear and Hunger 1 videos of people playing really well, because it showed that people could get good at it. There were some videos from Priscilla Poodle on YouTube who showcase the S endings of every single character, and I appreciate them because I was like, okay, so you can actually get something out of this instead of just choosing just to go for the bad ending and stuff like that. You could actually focus into making something like amazing to be watched, because those S endings you cannot save and you gotta go through them. So I appreciated that. But in Fear Hunger 2, every single scare is built up slowly. Like for example, like I said before, the death mask, the coffins are shown to you. They don't do anything, but when you least expect it, something comes out of them, and they have quite HP. They're quite tanky, and they're very threatening for you. Same if you go to the right from the train, you get shot at, you take 10 damage, but that scare remains in you. You go to the left, you see a wolfman chopping off someone's head. Stuff like that builds up. You go into the city, you hear the bobbies cackling. You hear needles. All that builds up into a scare, and I love it so much. The center building up with the sound before you can actually see him in a secret area. All that, in my opinion, sold me the game, and I love it so much. And now I have, how much exactly? I have 450 hours because of that. While Fear Hunger 1, I only have 150 hours in Fear Hunger 1. And I still get scared in Termina. And I love it. I love getting scared.
Termina is much better with the scares. It does do build-ups really nicely. And that translates to the story as well. That was sort of the story in the first game too. Had that sort of slow build-up and slow reveals, but I think it does it a bit better in Termina.
You have more hours in Fear and Hunger 1 than I do.
Me?
I do.
Who, me?
Dark Raccoon does too.
Wait, Dark Raccoon?
Yes, I did a lot of challenges.
Wait, Bones, how much time did you play Fear and Hunger 1 again?
140 hours.
Oh, okay. I mean, 10 hours difference, but why are your opinions so terrible, guys?
Tell me what's your opinion, Frapolo, and why do you suck?
No, basically, the point is... no, okay, I'm just joking, but the point is... I understand what you mean when you say that there may be some build-ups in Termina, because yeah, I felt them too. Like even Poe in particular scared me a lot. Every time I saw the freaking, I heard the freaking radio sound, I got so scared. But these build-ups are present even in Fear and Hunger 1. Like for example, consider the Crow Mauler. There is a conformation in which you can see it behind the bars, and it just keeps following you. Or even one perfect example of this that is potentially gonna be seen by new players, in my opinion, is the Iron Shakespeare. Because you enter in a room which is constantly light up by the fire, so there is no way you can't see the Iron Shakespeare at least one time while you traverse that room. And he seems so big and scary, but for the conformation of that room, the Iron Shakespeare sometimes is so small that if he goes to the sides, it's not small, but in the map context, it's small. If it goes to the sides, you may not see it anymore, and once you see it immediately, all the tension that was accumulated up to that moment just bursts, and you burst into fear. Or at least that's what I felt. Or even just the normal movement with the guards, the sound of boom every time a guard appears on screen. I think Termina was able to replicate that very well, but I think you're a little bit underestimating the first one. I'm not saying the second one doesn't have it. The second one does have it, but even Fear and Hunger 1, in my opinion.
I don't know. I just feel like Miro just decided, like, I feel like Fear and Hunger 1 relies on you having some kind of like phobia or fear for you to get triggered by the shock effect, where Fear and Hunger 2 builds up your fears.
Oh
So
no, a
gives
stinger!
you a reason as
I'm
to
so
why.
scared by a stinger! No, no!
I mean,
no.
it makes you feel confused and scared because of the fact that you are seeing something that is not allowed in your everyday life, because that's not normal in any kind of game.
No,
That
you're right.
see
I think
an
it is meant to be
enemy
shocking, and I think
with a
that is the
stinger.
point
Yeah,
because
it shocks you.
you
Yeah.
know these decisions weave all the way
appreciate
through
that,
from the lore to the gameplay, and the point of those characters was to say yes, this game is completely different from anything else you've played. This
Yeah.
dungeon is completely different from anywhere else in the world, and bad things that you know what's gonna happen when you get caught, and guess what happens when you get caught?
Mhm. Yes. That's why I appreciate 1, but I have to say that 2 builds up every single scare so much because Miro decided to give you a path that you should take for you to feel that scare, and it feels really, really well done, to be honest. At least it feels like that. The only time that it actually fucks you up in a way is during the end. Ending A is one of the worst things ever. Like the white bunker. It's not a well done place, in my opinion.
You don't like it? How come?
There's the first enemy that can actually one shot you for no reason at all after having not saved for a while. There's not a save outside either. You're not being told that there's an enemy that can actually one hit you with the flamethrower. The platoon is designed to kill you without being able to guard the
Oh
coin
my-
toss. Yeah.
Ooh.
God,
Logic
fuck
is
the
impossible if
platoon.
you don't know if you can burn them.
Fuck the platoon. The first time I got in
Yeah.
there, platoon glitched and just used the coin flip attack every single
Yeah,
time.
Platoon did
Huh?
that to me too. That was an old
Yeah.
glitch it had where after you killed Sylvian Trooper, you know how it's supposed to use random moves? Sometimes it would just get stuck
Yes.
on using the coin flip. So it would literally coin flip every turn.
Easy. Perfect.
Yeah, that kind of stuff ruined the game for me.
I
That's why I
actually
didn't
think
go
that's
for ending A for like 11 times. 11 runs.
I think the bunker being a big gauntlet is definitely intentional to try and because the whole thing is Lagarde's obsession with the bunker with the dungeon, sort of being brought into the modern age. That's why I think it's supposed to be one long bullshit gauntlet. It's like specifically intentional for that. And the first game was really designed to be very, very trial and error. You're supposed to die 10,000 times before you get an ending. And that's what the bunker is. Oh, this guy that's standing, but you can still tell what's going to happen, right? This guy that's standing still and just looking around, and he looks like he's got a weird gun. Don't stand where he's looking.
You don't see it. No, you don't see it because you don't have a way to load him before he's a threat to you. That's kind of what it is, sadly.
Oh, really?
If you had more view distance, you would be able to react because we get caught because of that. We don't see it.
Oh, well, there you
The-
go.
the build isn't
Wait,
strong enough.
whoa. I have to disagree here because I agree with the fact that there are some unfair moments both in the first game and in the second. I will never disagree on this point. But on the flamethrower guy specifically, I was able to shoot him before the fire was able to start the animation of death on me. So there is a little
That
time
is a
to
glitch.
react.
That is a glitch.
I mean, glitch or not, it is doable for now. So I'm gonna consider. We are considering the platoon glitching with the coin flip. I'm gonna consider this.
All right. So, like I said before, I think the reason why I hate the ending A is because the game is not about that until the end, and it emulates the feeling of Fear 1 near the end, which it didn't do throughout the whole thing. I feel like if you wanted to be like Fear 1, it should have done it like earlier, not at the end, right? It feels like it doesn't fit to me. Like throw me a one-shot enemy early
There
or
is.
anything like
There
that.
is.
Like fuck me up early, right?
The priest will get you. He's got that coin flip, and that's basically
Yeah, but
that's basically
what
a
I'm
one
saying
shot. I
is
mean,
like in the overworld.
Sorry.
In the overworld, I'm saying, right? In the overworld.
Oh, like
That
that.
didn't, like never
Yeah.
happened. Yeah, that kind of
I
stuff.
mean, Woodsman kinda resembles a little bit Fear and Hunger 1 in my opinion. Because it has all, genitalia exposed, a very powerful attack that can cut off limbs, such as the guards, and a coin flip attack with the appendage.
Mm.
But that's what it is. It builds up to it. You have time to react. The Woodsman is slow as well. That's why I love it.
Are slow
The
as
guards are
well.
very freaking fast. No, the guards are fast.
Bro, did you play in Fear and Hunger difficulty or in Tavern Starvation difficulty?
Listen to me, Fravolio.
Yes.
You don't have dash as a new player. You don't know about dash. The guards are fast. And even if you have dash, you usually don't have the time to react. Try to dodge a guard compared to the Woodsman, and you'll see what I mean.
Oh.
No. Yeah. Dodging the Woodsman is easier.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean it's better.
What I'm saying is that you're given the chance to fight it or not. You're given a build up to it.
Yeah, but
not
if you
explosion,
were able
right?
to like dodge everything, then what would be the purpose of even playing? Like, if all problems, yes, you can dodge all problems, both in Fear and Hunger 1 and in Fear and Hunger 2. But the point is, I don't think discussing about how easy it is equals how better it is a good type of discussion, because
The thing about it is that you are given the Woodsman a threat that can cut off your limbs, that can use their cointos and pretty much kill you for the whole game. And then things pick up a bit when you see Nils that moves faster than the Woodsman, when you see a Death Mask that moves really fast, when you see the Octopus guys, right? The Garys, I forgot the name always, the Crimson Fires in the church. And the
Crimson
Bobbies in their
Fire, I hate that
small
guy.
places. Yeah, those things pick up the pace. And that's why I love it so much. It slowly builds up the fear of you not being able to rely on dodging them properly. And I love that so much. And
you know
well,
what?
the last episode I don't like it that much because of the girl running towards you while screaming. I hate that part, to be honest. I dislike it.
You know what?
Oh, I have
You know what? The flamethrower guy is teased because every other, like a whole bunch of other enemies that stand still, the only ones that stand stock still are ones with guns. So, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Also, I have one thing that I want to bring up because I don't know if you had this problem as well. But one reason for which maybe I didn't experience the same build-up that you are talking about, Raccoon, is that every time there is one or more enemies on screen, my FPS goes from 30 to like 5 FPS. There is a freaking photo album or something. Every time the mob appears, I basically stare at a blank screen for like 10 seconds and then the combat starts.
Yeah, do you have a bad computer?
I don't have
that. This should be one of the best PC I've ever had. Like, I got it, it was very expensive. I can guarantee it's not a bad computer. So I don't know if maybe
still
it's an
happens?
optimization. It still happens. I played Termina because I was studying it. It doesn't happen to you, really?
No, it doesn't happen to
I'm
me.
able to dodge enemies. Like when there's like 2 or 3 enemies, I can dodge them.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I had a world record at one point in Termina.
There is a slowdown issue that happens sometimes, but it's completely unrelated to that. I've never had any issues with the screen full of enemies.
The what are they called? Yeah, those the Jigsaw? Bonsa? What is it? The umbrellas, I forgot the name. What are they?
Yeah. When the umbrellas load in,
the
it
Sue
stutters.
jobs.
Skin, yeah.
Sue jobs. There you go.
they skin jobs or sew jobs?
Sew jobs.
Sew
Sew
jobs.
jobs.
I'm just gonna mute you next time you do that.
Oh, I was doing it on purpose. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, but sometimes when you load into an area, I think Bones was telling me about it. How there's sometimes it'll just be low frame rate for no reason, but then if you pause, it just gets rid of it.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
pause,
Yeah,
it gets
that's
rid of it.
that's
but,
actually a trick. That's actually a speedrun trick. When you are loading into a place where there's enemies, you gotta pause for like a second.
So wait, a speedrun trick is pausing
It
to
is,
reduce the
yes.
lag.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Lag reduction strats. Don't you know
It
anything about
happens in Fahrenheit 1 as well,
speedruns?
yes. Yeah,
I don't know
it
why
happens in
it makes
Fahrenheit
me
1
laugh
as well.
so much to think like you have to pause to reduce the
Mahavre.
lag. Yeah, Mahavre is
Mahavre
terrible.
is
You
bad,
pause for
yeah.
a second, the lag is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mahabari is terrible, I agree, but like it makes me really laugh thinking about the speedrun strategy. Pause to reduce the lag so you can continue your speedrun.
It's beautiful. There's another speedrun trick in Fahrenheit 1, which is remove your spacebar so you can actually write the books, the
Ooh,
empty
That's
scrolls
true.
faster. Yeah.
When I during ending NDS for Enki, whenever I got up to Sylvian, and the green hue pools, it was legitimately like 1 frame a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like,
I got
what
so
is going
scared
on?
at that. I thought it was me streaming the game. I was like, no, man, please don't crash now.
Yeah, it was like at the end of an 8-hour stream, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm going to kill you if you crash right now. I got killed by Sylvian in like 5 seconds later anyway, but still.
Oh,
Man.
absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah. How I got into Fear and Hunger. I saw it ages ago. This must have been before the Termina demo. And I played a little bit on stream. I got ending E, or everybody gets ending E, and I think I got one of the ending Ds as well. One of the new God endings. Or maybe it was an NDC. It was another ending, I'm pretty sure I got. And I was like, yeah, that was good. Not really my cup of tea. And then I dropped it. And then I've been friends with Bones for a while. And he was playing a lot of Fear and Hunger. And we were chatting about Termina. And then late last year, I was playing a bunch of horror games. So I played Signalis and some other stuff. And then I finished up, and then I'm like, okay, what do I play now? And Bones is like, Termina just came out like today. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll play that. And absolutely fell in love with it. Like, I think Termina is easier to get into. It's easier to start than Fear and Hunger 1.
Yeah.
The difficulty curve is a bit smoother, I think. I mean, it's still hard as balls, right? But compared to regular games. But when you're comparing the two games, Termina is definitely easier.
Yes.
But,
yes.
by the way,
I
what
always
do you mean
recommend
when you-
Termina over 1. Yes.
I don't, but anyways, I have another question. Like, you said Fear and Hunger 1 was not your cup of tea. Was it purely related to difficulty, or there were some other reasons? Like, maybe you didn't like, I don't know, stingers or something?
Oh, it was mostly the difficulty, and I didn't like how trial and error everything felt. And I felt like it would be cheating just to look everything up, right? And at the time, the guides were a lot simpler than they are now. Like, we don't have channels like, what's he called? The channels like All Bones Jones making guides on how to beat every enemy, right?
Yeah, that's a good channel. I love it as well.
Who?
Yeah,
Sorry?
I love it as well. I gotta
Who's
be
making
honest.
videos?
It's a good channel. Almost shows.
Old Bone Jones.
Yeah.
Even Super iPatch Wolf made a video about Fear and Hunger, remember?
Who's that?
Actually, I should probably explain why I stuck with Fear and Hunger.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure, go ahead. I'm curious as well.
So I booted it up, fought the first enemy, a guard, went ha penis and attacked the stinger, and then lost an arm to the cleaver. The second turn I went after the cleaver, and then got instantly killed by Mad Rush.
I think that's everybody's experience.
At that point,
Hey,
it
hit
was
the dick.
personal. At that point, it was personal, and I needed revenge.
And so you freaking
I mean, it
became the
makes
god of
sense for a Dark Souls
ultra-violence.
player. It makes sense for a Dark Souls player to be like that, so I understand it.
That's really why I'm making these guides. It's part of my personal revenge for the game. It showed up onto my stream and humiliated me and made me look like I'm bad at video games. So I'm going out of my way to completely rip out every single shred of difficulty from it.
There's no
By the way,
series
Mao, I
like Fear and
think,
Hunger to make you look like you're bad at video games, is there?
Like, I gotta be honest, what you said about if you look it up, it seems like cheating, Mao. I kind of understand why you say that, and I agree. Like, if you look, because Fear and Hunger, less than Fear and Hunger Termina. I mean, Fear and Hunger Termina has this less than Fear and Hunger 1, but like Fear and Hunger 1 is a knowledge game. The more knowledge you have, and it becomes way easier with it. Like,
100%.
you can freaking... Exactly. The point is, I think, yes, it's kind of cheating if you want to do that. The point is, at the time, it's important to say this, because I think you played it while there was not even wiki.gg alive. So you had the old wiki. Even in case you wanted to search informations, you had access only to wrong informations on the fandom wiki.
No, Frapollo.
Uh-huh.
The time that I played Fear and Hunger 1, when I tried to give it a try, before I became like a YouTuber, after finishing Fear and Hunger 2, I used the old wiki, and every single time I saw an enemy, I would look it up on the wiki, and it would help me out a lot on the old wiki. That's how I played the game.
Wait,
I see an enemy. Yes,
no.
I saw an enemy.
No.
I would look it up as if it was a Pokemon with the Pokédex.
Yeah,
and I would be amazed at reading the lore of the enemy.
Bro, like
seeing Pokédex, reading the lore, that was beautiful.
Bro, Wiki says freaking, I don't know, Iron Mask protects from Peck of the Crow Molar. Crow Molar has 5,000 HP
like
on torso.
Hang on.
It helped me a lot.
Sorry. Wait a second. Raccoon, did you just say you enjoyed looking up the lore of the enemies?
Yes.
And what changed then? What changed?
Believe it or not, Mao, I love the lore of stuff. However, I choose to not share it with people. Because there's something that happens usually when it comes to lore, which is that I come up with my own lore as I'm reading it. And I don't like when others go against my lore, that is, right?
Wow.
Usually it's something that happens, that you have a lore and someone will be contradicting your own lore.
That's shocking. You have said explicitly that you hate lore.
Yes, because I don't want to talk about my own lore, because I know it's dumb and it makes no sense, because I read Homestuck. I know it's dumb. I know my lore sucks. That's why I don't want anyone to hear it. I might say someday about the lore stuff that I have, but I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
Like,
we
for
can
example,
do a lore stream, and
there,
then I can correct you whenever you're wrong.
Maybe. And then I will get angry and leave. There's one, for example, that Ragnar Valder is August, but I will get into that in the future, someday probably.
I think you shouldn't be like shy. It's not the correct term, shy, but you shouldn't be shy of sharing your lore, because in the end, the lore is never definitive. We can speculate, but unless the developer says something, everything, or even just the game confirms it, everything is just speculation. So there will never be, even if someone says, you are wrong with this because there is this theory that says this, it's just a theory. So
exactly.
you can have your own thoughts.
But that's the part that I had a hard time with.
Actually, well, see, the thing is, I am always right. I talked to Miro about it, and he's like, yeah, Mao, you're just...
Oh, you don't get to rip off my shtick now. I'm the one that's always right.
No, guys, you're always wrong, because I'm the only one that's right here. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, you know what?
I don't want to share my stuff.
Okay, so I do have to talk about this a little bit. I wasn't going to get into lore, but since Raccoon secretly likes lore, he's secretly a lorehead too. So you may be familiar with my theory that Ulmir and Sulfur are the same god. They weren't split. They were actually the same god. And that Grogoroth was the sun god, right? Were you guys familiar with that?
I mean, I never
haven't
watched
seen the video, but I heard my people say that. Yes.
Wow! I thought I was among friends. That's okay. I don't watch your guys' videos either, so that's fine.
I watched all of your videos, Mal. I'm sorry. I was joking.
I get bombarded by your videos in the community, so in a way I watched them.
So that I was looking at the evidence of the game, and that's what I think supports it the most, right? But So there's been data mining into Termina, and it suggests that there's a different entity that is the sun god. Now, we have been taking this with a big grain of salt because Miro explicitly said in direct response to this data mining that he has left red herrings in the code specifically to mess people up and to prevent data mining. But it looks like there is 2 different gods that are completely unnamed in the game so far that could be a sun god. There's one called Sarko and one called Amon. And Amon, of course, was an Egyptian sun god. And Sarko uses that star sigil that I thought was the sun god sigil. So there's 2 that could potentially be it. And it could also be Miro just fucking with us. Right.
And it's also mentioned in Osa's intro that Amon is the city of the sun.
Exactly. That's why people are like, oh, okay, this is interesting now. And Amon, and people were looking up mythology of that god, and what he did was he sent, he was pissed off at how humanity were disrespectful, so he sent one of his eyes down to punish them. And of course, in Fear and Hunger, the gods are often associated with eyes. So there's like the eye of protection, and Sulfur is missing an eye, and Sylvian's sigil is an eye, that sort of stuff. And then when he realized that he didn't want the destruction anymore, he sent down a second eye to bring peace to the land. And then you've got all sorts of comparisons like that. Like, you know, could Sulfur be the eye of punishment? Could Venushka be the eye that brings peace? Of course, this is all based on data mining and based off of real world lore. So who knows, even if, you know, Amon is the god, who knows how much of the real world lore will be brought into the game. So it's all very speculative at the moment. But there is, even though the evidence, what I think the evidence in the game really does say that Grogroth was the sun god, we'll have to wait and see exactly how that plays out, probably in Fear and Hunger 3, I guess, at this point, because I don't think we're going to get massive sun god lore dumps in updates. I hope we do, but I won't count on it.
Yeah, I think Fear and Hunger Termina is pretty finished as a game. I think there will be new areas, and potentially some new endings. But
no, absolutely not. I refuse to believe that. One of my things that I wanted to say for a bit was that Fear and Hunger 2 is in early access. It's something that I say every single time to people. There's a lot of skills that are broken. There's a lot of items that don't work properly. There's a lot of broken weapons. There's a lot of characters that don't do anything. For example, Karen sitting in a place just doing nothing. There's so many interactions that are just broken in the game that can actually just break your save, in my opinion. And I think it's an early access game because of that. I think, for me,
so there's this other game. There's this other game that's also got all of those called Fear and Hunger 1.
Exactly. Fear and Hunger 1, I would love it if Miro goes back and fixes shit.
Yeah, but
Termina is still in development.
Termina, when it launched, wasn't half as buggy as Fear and Hunger is now. Straight up, it wasn't.
Yes. Yes, but listen. Fear and Hunger 2, Miro's still on it, adding stuff to it. So it's still early access up to the point that there's still stuff that are going to be coming up and changing stuff around. Like, for example, Levi is going to have a different skill tree, as far as I've been told.
What? Who said that?
Like, there's going to be changes. As far as I know, Miro said that the fourth ability, the shotgun ability wasn't meant to be. It's actually something that is given to everyone, right?
So what happened with that is Miro added the skill Executioner, which, if you're unfamiliar, it lets you kill an enemy with a shotgun if they're already stunned. And of course, since the shotgun stuns enemies, it means you can two-shot most enemies in the game on the overworld. And then what he did was he gave that ability to shotguns naturally, and then forgot that Executioner did that too. So Executioner, it's not bugged. Executioner is literally just a useless skill at the moment. So we will probably get a new Executioner skill.
Exactly.
I can't believe he made a skill that allows you to kill people by shooting them with a gun. You don't need a skill for that.
But Raccoon, I understand what you're saying, but I gotta be honest, since we are talking about things mentioned during chats, etc., sometimes in the Discord server there are some people that mention how Miro said something along the lines of wanting to finish Fear and Hunger Termina as fast as possible because he wants to concentrate on new projects.
Mm.
I
So
highly doubt it, to be honest.
No,
because
he said that multiple times. Yeah, I have receipts.
like I see that, but there's so many people who want to have all the characters playable. There's so many people who want to have so many changes to the story, and I feel like he's really like blowing up when it comes to like being known as a developer. While Fear One, he doesn't have a reason to go back to other than just fixing stuff and adding Frapollo's book fix patch mod, of course.
bug fix.
But Fear 2 can grow to be perfect, I think, and that's the reason why it's early access. It's the good kind of early access, the one that we see in like games, for example, like A Hat in Time, Cult of the Lamb, stuff like that. Games that are still adding stuff into them, like Deep Rock Galactic, right? Games that are still adding stuff into them, even though they're finished. That's the good kind of early access. And I think Miro doesn't want to market as early access because that means that it will give him a different kind of like view to the game. Because as far as you know, Fear 1 didn't end up being finished as soon as it released. It kept adding more stuff and more stuff, right?
Mm.
Like, I recently made a video in which I went through the different updates of Fear and Hunger 1, and by Fear and Hunger 1 version 1.0, almost everything was already added. If I remember correctly, in the version 1.2, which was released before Termina, there was also the addition of Dungeon Knights, which was the last mode of the game. But apart from that, the future updates were just sort of balance patches. For example, I saw something crazy that I didn't know about. War Scythe used to be broken because Miro had to change it. But still, yeah, there were just balance patches, so not really new content or something. So the point is, I think, in my opinion, Termina is gonna meet the same fate. Like, maybe, I don't know, Pav is gonna become playable, Tanaka is gonna become playable. With the most hope possible, all the contestants are gonna become playable, except maybe, I don't know, Samari or Caligula, because they're kind of difficult to integrate with the world. But still, the point is, apart from that, I think Miro really wants to finish Fear and Hunger Termina and concentrate on Fear and Hunger 3 or a new game.
Yeah, so the way he's sort of been speaking lately, and take this with a grain of salt, because Miro, again, changes his mind and is very... he works off the cuff quite a bit. Actually, funny story, he said the idea for Termina was he was working on the modern one, and then he's like, last minute, he's like, I want to set it in, post World War II, and then just did that last minute. So he didn't plan that for very long at all, he said.
Really?
Yeah.
But so he said that, he does want to get all the contestants in, but if it's going to take way too long to make, he would rather spend that time working on the next game. So he's going to make one first, so we're definitely getting at least one, not in the coming patch, but probably the one after. And if I had to bet on one, it'd be Tanaka. The way he's been speaking seems to suggest Tanaka, but it could be Pav as well. And otherwise, we're just getting a whole bunch of new areas just to smooth out the game. But I think calling it early access is a bit much, because I think if you look at it now, it's complete, it's playable. I think it's very good. It does have some, like, I'm not gonna lie, it has some big issues, but I think when you say early access, you say like huge chunks of the game are missing, and I don't think that it's that bad.
Well, my way of like marking as early access, like I said before, like, have you played A Hat in Time?
I did, but I don't remember what it was like in early access.
Thing is that they kept adding stuff into it, like DLCs and free stuff that would end up adding more into the game. That's the kind of early access that I refer to. When a game is finished and they keep adding good stuff into the game. That is not getting paid.
Oh, it's not getting paid, so the DLCs were free?
Paid, just free stuff. Yeah, those stuff. Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's what Miro's doing. I think the game is complete now. I think I think at the moment there are some big issues, but I think it's a very good product as it is. But he is going to be adding massive content patches. Like, next time we're getting fishing, we're getting a shitload of boss enemies.
Yes.
Like, he straight up said we're getting multiple big boss enemies. We're getting brand new connections that completely change the flow of the game from the start to the middle, and then from the middle to the end. Like, it's going to be really big. Like it's gonna be a massive content patch.
That's why I say that it's gonna be early access, because a lot is gonna be changing, and it's gonna be really difficult to keep up with a lot of stuff that are gonna be changing, and it's gonna be the same with another patch more than likely. I doubt he will not make every single character playable. I think he will make every single character playable. I would say maybe August will be the one that will be left out, probably because of how hard it is to make him playable.
Oh,
Why
actually,
it's hard to make August playable.
I did actually talk to Miro about this, no joking, and he said that he was going to delete Samurai, just remove it from the game in the next patch.
Delete.
Yeah, just
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Based.
Nice.
So not even not playable, just it's gone, like completely rewritten out of the story. So it's pretty
Are you
impressive.
supposed to say these to the public? I don't think Miro wanted these to be released to the public.
I'll have to cut this part out. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for reminding me. Let me just write down this timestamp.
Good. I know.
Yeah, I think secret stuff from development process is kind of secret, you know?
Yeah, you're right. I'll cut this out.
Now I imagine you are not gonna cut it out, and I'm gonna sound stupid for saying you to cut it off.
I mean, it's obvious. Like, you always sound stupid, so what's the point of it?
Oh.
But anyways, yeah, I agree. I think Termina is finished. There are bugs, etc. But those, the game is already finished. We are not gonna. Maybe we're gonna get new endings. I highly doubt we're gonna get S endings for all the characters.
Oh, yeah, nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, or maybe we're gonna get, I don't know, the S ending of, I don't know, Olivia, because, her sister is deeply related to the story, or maybe we're gonna get the S ending, but not S endings of all characters for sure.
No, yeah, so what he said about this is that we're getting an ending like ending E, like a cop-out ending. We're probably gonna get one of them. And we'll probably get another, he said he wants to do another ending that's like, where you can rescue everybody, but knowing Miro, it'll be ridiculously hard to do.
No way. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe.
He explicitly said he wanted to do an ending where he can save everyone. Yep.
That's so weird.
But he said in the past he didn't want to do that because then people would just do that ending.
Exactly, right?
So that's why if he does it, it has to be ridiculously hard to do. So whatever
You're
it is.
You're gonna fight the 3 platoon at once to get the ending.
Yeah, a platoon boss rush.
That will be easy, but fun.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Yeah. So
I wish that doesn't happen, though.
Wish it'll happen. Yeah.
I wish that doesn't happen, because I think it fits really well with Fear and Hunger to not have an ending where everything is positive.
I mean,
you say that, but you have the happy ending in Fear and Hunger 1, so...
There's no happy ending, right?
That's literally what it's called.
Yeah, it's called happy ending.
Fear and Hunger, happy ending. Hang on a second.
It's like a happy in quotation marks, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, God of Ultraviolence technically is an happy ending. I mean, Ragnvaldo is having the time of his life.
He's literally consumed by rage. That's what that ending is.
Yeah. But he enjoys it.
August. Like, think about it. That's ridiculous.
It basically is like the best ending out of them, I think. Enki's is second best. Because he just gets what he wants.
Enki?
Kahara? Kahara also fits really well.
Yeah, but Kahara has PTSD forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can live with that,
right?
But
that's just how life is.
With Kahara's they can live with that, right?
Kahara's is ending E, except he's rich. So, that's like the only difference.
Yeah.
You might as well just leave.
Yeah, but I don't know, ending S of Kahara, I always said I like it, but I don't know, I feel bad for Kahara, because in the end, he's not gonna enjoy everything he has. He's not gonna enjoy the time with his wife, because, he's gonna have PTSD forever of the dungeon. And also...
So let me tell you this for a second. Listen to me for a moment, okay? The world of Fear and Hunger works in a different way, right? Than ours.
Yes.
A phobia or any kind of yes, of course, completely.
It does.
Once you're born in Fear and Hunger, you can be born with a soul that completely makes you above the rest, turns you above anyone else, because you end up being the chosen one with a specific soul. And you end up with skills, and you end up with magic, and you end up with stuff like that, with inhuman capabilities, right? You can speak with insects and stuff like that. How difficult would it be for someone like Enki?
right?
You can?
Wait, you can't, Raccoon?
That's
What?
oh,
No,
that's weird.
no, I didn't. What? I was saying that. I was saying that. Why couldn't there be a cure for Enki's phobia at that time? That
Or
would help
Kahara phobia,
him.
you mean?
Sorry, Akahara. Yeah, sorry.
The point
phobia.
is, I know what you mean, but even if we are in this kind of world, I think that if there really was a cure, then there wouldn't be a reason for the dungeon to be considered this tremendous place of destruction and torment. Like, I think if there was a way to just completely remove all your problems in one single pip, then
Yes,
I think
but
the whole universe would collapse.
What guarantees us that that is the only place that is a threat to the world? Because,
But-
like for example, Hunter x Hunter, there's a lot of places in the world, but only a few are mentioned.
Well,
And
I mean, we
near
find
the
it
end
in
of Hunter x
Termina
Hunter,
that the
then we have-
dungeons aren't the only place that's a
We
threat to the
do
world.
know that the setting does have a way to fix every single mental problem. It's the same one that works in a real life too.
Don't say it, Bones.
No! No! I dissociate myself from this, I'm sorry.
What,
No,
you don't
Bones.
smokium the opium to copium?
Oh, okay.
Yes!
Damn.
Just
That's
be
really
too
the point.
high to care about your PTSD and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
still, the point is, like, Kahara, if there really was a way to heal him, would have done that during the S ending. Instead, we are told that, yeah, he had PTSD forever. So, even if there was that, the point is, if the game doesn't tell us it is, we can speculate. But speculating on nothing is kind of difficult because, yeah, we know there are spells, etc. But we never really had access to spells that are able to heal traumas or something.
No. Plus, because the PTSD is caused by the dungeon, there's a real chance that is considered a sacrifice to a god or something taken by a god, and you usually can't heal stuff like that. That's why in Termina, Dan can't heal his eyes, and that's implied why Olivia's legs won't heal.
Yeah, because like Olivia legs are in there from the start. Like Olivia was born with those, so Sivan is not able to restore something to before it was even conceived.
Well, she wasn't born with
something.
them. That did happen later, but it's kind of it's
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
not really
true, that's true,
clear.
yeah.
But the way Miro phrased that statement, it sort of implied that it was sort of a sacrifice to a god somehow.
What I'm saying is like that kind of stuff happens, but for some reason you're able to cure Levi's heroin withdrawal.
That's almost certainly a glitch.
And I know it's gameplay stuff and a glitch stuff, but it can happen, right?
Yes. I mean, it can even happen that you freaking get a debug spot in Fear and Hunger 1 where you can collect Ragnavalder and Darcy, but it's not how it works.
But it works. And
Then
Milo didn't decide
all
to
the people of
remove it.
Rondon, all the people of Rondon are gonna go into the Dungeon of Fear and Hunger to collect duplicates of Ragnavalder and Darcy.
Exactly, but no one knows
Freaking
but you as a
obliterate.
player.
This is
That's
why
the stuff.
the Eastern Union never wanted to screw with Rondon.
Wow,
They
yeah.
knew what would happen. They just sent a bunch of dudes to the dungeon to collect an infinite army of Da'ars. They couldn't win that fight.
Exactly.
It's canon. It's obviously canon.
Walk out with 99 light blue vials and 20 Darces.
That's all
And
they
then empty
needed.
scrolls to get freaking Black Orb on everyone.
Beautiful.
Oh, that explains the archaeology expedition. Yeah, that's what they were there for. Wow.
Yeah, and wait, that's how the Crow Mauler got revived. There is a debug spot for the Crow Mauler, maybe.
I actually have
But
a bit
still.
of we were mentioning endings before,
Hmm?
and that I've actually got an axe to grind about the endings in Termina. Actually, I hate them all.
You hate them all?
Yeah, because
I have
we'll
to
think
say,
about it, right?
I raise my hand. Same. I hate the endings of Termina. I wish it was a good one.
Look, and I'll tell you why. Not mechanically. I like them mechanically. Well, except ending C. There's like one fight and then just nothing. That needs to be fixed. There needs to be another fight for ending C. But lore-wise, right? Think of the endings from Fear and Hunger 1. All the ones we know are
beautiful.
canon have like huge impact. Like the birth of the god of Fear and Hunger, right? Huge. Lagarde, all the other stuff, right? Like massive implications.
Yes.
And then in Termina, like what are the implications? Oh, the festival ends. Okay, nothing happens then. You become a self-occult member, same thing, nothing happens. And right now, the wording in ending A, where you turn on logic, suggests that you didn't actually do anything. It wasn't mandatory for you to turn it on. And there's a cut conversation from Yellow King that says you had to turn it on and nobody else could because he was too scared to leave the bunker. But that's cut. So right now, nothing in game says that you needed to turn on the teleelectroscopes. So basically, right now, the player does nothing in the grander context of the Fear and Hunger universe during the festival. It's just a meat grinder. And it's like, well, that's really fucking depressing. Like, what's the point of this game?
It really surprises me to see you and the Raccoon, which you played the Fear and Hunger Termina for the most part. It really surprises me to see you don't like the endings.
Yeah, I mean, gameplay-wise, I love them. I think they're great gameplay-wise, but lore-wise, I'm just very disappointed, to be honest.
I don't know why, but Summary appears in the marina and even though she's dead. Stuff like that I don't get.
Yeah, there's a few questions that still need to be answered, that's for sure. Like doppelgangers, like what the hell are doppelgangers? Like there's literally no information about what doppelgangers are.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying there's more to be added. Yeah. Like there's some stuff that just makes me feel like, oh, what? I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, Miro talked in the Discord about what doppelgangers were.
What are they?
I mean, yeah, but like a discussion in another source. Like, if I want to know stuff, it should come from the media I play. If have you ever played Kingdom Hearts?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Hearts? Hang on a second.
Okay. How's it called? I don't remember the name.
Mickey?
I'm an expert in the Kingdom Hearts timeline because it's canon to Dark Souls.
Yeah, but like. Wait, what?
What is it?
What? Did you not play Dark Souls 2? Did you not see that the Demon of Song swallowed a Keyblade?
What? A Keyblade?
Wait, the Demon of Song swallows a Keyblade?
Yeah,
the Demon of Song is the Keyblade. But see, the point is, like, Nomura said a lot of stuff during random interviews or something, while,
yeah, he does. You're right.
Yeah, there are some sources that may be considered official or maybe cut content, but still, I think when you play a game, the game itself should tell you the stuff. You don't have to, like, search from outside sources for it.
Absolutely no.
Well, actually, no.
A game can tell its story however they want.
Now, it can, but...
Do you not know...
Sure. But from
where doppelgangers?
Sorry, let me. I'll just.
Do you not actually know where doppelgangers came from?
But Miro straight up said that only stuff in game that you can access while playing is canon, and nothing else is canon. He's explicitly said that multiple times. So anything he says in the Discord isn't canon.
You mentioned that the whole reason they showed up was because of constant programming errors, resulting in multiple copies of characters appearing.
What? I mean, in that same logic, in Fear and Hunger 1, there should be a doppelganger of freaking Gaunt Knight, Najra, a lot of doppelgangers.
Well, that's actually really...
I mean...
That would actually fit. That could be logic taking hold of reality and then accidentally making copies. Which makes a lot of sense.
The debug tiles.
It literally is, because logic is designed to copy people's consciousness into the system, and it's doing it imperfectly. And plus, the doppelgangers tend to show up underground as well, and they tend to show up in areas near the bunkers, the logic bunkers. So that actually makes quite a lot of sense.
I told you the debug tiles were canon.
Wow.
Debug's for actually the doppelganger coming up to life for you abusing them.
That's actually
so
shocking.
Not
yeah,
the bugs, they are lore. But still,
Rackenvout a doppelganger.
Please let's not talk about debug spots anymore, please.
We're not. We're talking about lore, which just happens to involve all of those canon debug spots.
It is. Yeah, I think they are canon now. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And you can go back and say that, well, because when a god is born, it's outside time and has always existed. So the bug issues, the debug issues from the first game are actually the fault of logic too.
Oh no! So logic was created even before it was. No.
Yeah.
No.
100% canon. 100% canon. So those bugs are never going to get fixed
100% canon.
Yes, that's why we're never going to get any bug fixes to the first one, because all of those bugs are intentional and important to the lore.
Yeah, all of those are intentional. Yeah. So even the Jad Joes are moonless, for example, because if you steal from them, it says you aren't able to steal anything from Moonless.
Yes, exactly.
Moonless is everywhere. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
But
There you go.
anyways,
Creepy.
Wait,
let's get back on
Moonless, hang on a
track.
second.
Deep
Oh.
as lore.
Damn.
Of course,
Well, next
Moonless is
question, do we
everywhere.
have-
She's a new god by the time of Termina.
Mm. She
That's
Yes,
why
basically
yes.
is.
she's so huge.
Oh, Moonless is a
Guys!
new god. Now that's
Get to it.
interesting.
I mean, technically, it's strong as one for sure. Not that new gods are so strong, but still.
And she would be an old new god by that time, so she'd be she is basically as strong as Lagarde now, right?
Yeah. Also, like, if you consider that all new gods, etc., can be killed by a freaking girl with a condition without the wheelchair, also, it's clearly to say that new gods is basically like being a random dude.
Now I do have to correct you there because this issue comes up a lot. New gods when they're born are super strong, but because we only fight them when they're really old, then that's why we can kill them. If a single human fought a new god when they were born, they would just get demolished in an instant. Like, you know how you see Pav get owned by Lagarde? That it would happen, but even faster.
Wait a second. In Fear and Hunger 1, you don't really fight new gods when they are old.
Like they're
Do you
still
fight,
old
like,
by that
old
point.
versions?
They're still old by the time you fight them. Like they're not as old, but they're still old.
Okay, so wait, you think like, oh, okay, I think I understand what you mean. So in their prime, they're even stronger than that, in your opinion?
Well, yeah, when you actually do ending, what is it, ending D, I think?
Yes.
And it describes how you act as a god. And like, there's like Kahara like flying over battlefields and destroying entire armies just without even breaking a sweat. Like a new god when they're born are absolutely cracked, like Superman, right? You're basically Superman when you become a brand new god.
I think the reason in game for which a random dude with a freaking axe and a dog is able to kill a new god is because of gameplay, not because of lore, in my opinion.
Well, the gameplay and the lore are so heavily woven together, it's not even funny. Like, there's no way Miro would say, well, we'll just do it because it's funny. Like, Miro has never done that. Like, there's always a reason for everything. And we do fight them because they're hundreds of years old at that point.
Yeah, but it's not like they lost power. Like, okay, I understand you mean you were able to kill thousands of citizens, etc. But like, if you think about it, your character that enters the dungeon with just one scimitar and like one torch or something is able to obliterate a freaking flying stone monster, a gigantic crow with an arm made of a molar. You freaking kill an old dragon, which is the salmon snake, because salmon snake in Russian means something like a dragon of water, if I remember correctly. Like, you kill all of those. I think that's not only because of lore, it's mainly gameplay, in my opinion.
But
no.
Gameplay is lore, and that's exceptionally vital. That's how we know that debug tiles are canon.
Shut up! Shut up, okay?
Look, no, it's Bones is half right there. Gameplay and lore are very heavily interwoven. And we know that they did it just fine because Enki became a new god. So somebody had to kill them. Lagarde probably became a new god, and that's how. And Salmon Snake is definitely dead because we see the Salmon Snake rune in Termina. Salmon Snake is also probably a new god as well because he said he's a dragon, right? And all the dragons were lizardman new gods, so he was probably a lizardman new god, just really old. But we can see that happen with Nashra. Over the ages, he gets so weak, he can't even cast spells in Termina. He can't even do anything.
I mean, no, wait, that's not because he's old. That's because he was freaking obliterated by an old god.
No, it is because he's old. Like, he was burned, but that didn't do anything.
If it doesn't do anything, then why, right after it was burnt by Grogoroth, he didn't just stand up once again and fight?
Because he was, like, thrown into the darkness.
Yeah, but if that does nothing, then you can just go ahead with your day.
Well, I guess he's lost in the darkness now, so he's got to find his way back.
But the point is, wait, why do you say it's because it's hold? Like, do they say it somewhere?
Say us what? Sorry.
Do they say that Najra is old and so is not able to move properly somewhere, or it's just an assumption?
Mostly just an assumption because we see all the other gods. They get a lot weaker as they age too. Like, we see Francois in the future, and he can barely move. He's just tending to his dogs there.
I mean, then what about Chambara? Chambara in Termina is not weak.
That's a bit different because that's a summon. That's not his actual body. So, when the new gods take over, they have their bodies, and then they get killed at some point. Usually what happens is they get killed, and then their body just sort of, I don't know, they die in quotation marks, and their soul goes to the Grand Hall. You can summon them from the Grand Hall to come and talk to you for whatever reason. And they seem to be revitalized for a short time. That's what we see, like Heartless as well, is a big fight there. So Chambara had to die to get into the throne anyway. So we know he's definitely dead because we see him in the hall. So.
Okay, I mean, I don't agree too much with this, but it's a fair point.
Well, all right. Do you guys want to? We've been going for an hour. Do you guys want to wrap up?
How did you get to the second topic?
I can go for another topic.
Oh wait, I didn't answer to the question.
Well, we can save these topics for future episodes. I think this is a good discussion. This is what I like. Just jumping around. We don't have to stick to strict answers, strict questions.
Mao,
What?
I didn't answer to the question.
Wait, which question?
Oh shit, we haven't even finished the first one yet.
The question is, we got into Fanger.
Oh.
What a weakling.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, an hour for not even finishing one question. Okay, for Apollo, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, like once I started playing Lone RPG, I actually not playing Lone RPG on the channel, because I started playing Lone RPG before the channel. I made a Dune mod run on my channel, which is the hardest difficulty, so I already had some experience.
So you were just playing Learner.
That game.
You were just playing Learner because you're into it.
Basically, the point
is...
You can't say that!
The point is, I was liking Lone RPG so much that I just searched for games like Lone RPG.
You are so fucking weird. You're so weird, I swear.
Is this
weird?
Holy shit.
The word you're looking for is based.
Based.
Well, it's been nice knowing you for Apollo. I imagine you're going to be nuked off the internet soon and probably arrested, so it's been nice knowing you. Thanks for coming in. We had to find a new guest for the podcast next time.
But anyways, the point is, I searched for games similar, and while I was searching, I got recommended on YouTube a particular video that was called something like Fear and Anger as Ending, and then there was like a special limitation like no necromancy or something. And the channel was, if I remember correctly, from Heartless Angel Katsueki.
Heartless, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
And at one point, I started playing the game. I stopped playing the game because I got salty that they kept dying. But then I listened to some soundtrack of the game from Heartless Angel Katsueki channel, and I decided to continue. And I mean, I'm here right now, so it worked. Yeah. So because we may say the soundtrack brought me back into it, because when I play a game, I give like 40% of my judgment to the soundtrack. If the soundtrack is great, the gameplay may just be suboptimal. I will still a little bit like the game. And I mean, gameplay of Fear and Anger is not suboptimal, but anyways. So that's how I started.
It does have a pretty fantastic soundtrack, doesn't it?
It does. Especially because it's very simple. I don't know if you guys played the Digimon World.
No.
I have. Which one? The fourth one? The best one?
The first one. The first one.
The fourth one.
Which...
Yeah, the best one. The fourth
the
one.
first one.
Digimon World
Stupid
4,
idiot.
man, what a beautiful game.
Yeah,
I love the Diablo-esque playthrough that they have.
In Digimon World 1, majority of the soundtrack was just composed of nature sounds, I don't know,
Like Fear
birds
Hunger,
singing.
yes.
Exactly, and that's so simple, but sometimes simplicity is better. Also, not to say that Fear and Hunger is simple. Like there are a lot of complex things and interesting mechanics. But there were some moments in which I just got so minimalistic to the point I said I'm even playing Lisa the Painful in these days, and even there are some moments in which there are some very simple designs, especially in Lisa the First. And I also saw you play the Lisa, Mao, by the way.
Yeah, it's good.
So yeah, did you notice this simplicity sometimes that is very good and
yeah, it's definitely the idea that like less is more in Lisa, and I think he nails it a lot of the time.
Exactly. So yeah, in the end, that's what brought me to Fear and Hunger.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know anyone else enjoyed Digimon World 4 except for me.
Digimon World 4 is trash. Come on.
What? What? Why would you say that to me? I'm right here. What?
Right now.
All right, you guys can argue. You guys can argue about Digimon World in DMs. We should wrap up. This is the Fear and Hunger, the official Fear and Hunger podcast. It's not really, but we're not talking about Digimon World.
True.
All right, yeah. So thanks for coming in, everybody. I hope you had fun. And I hope all the listeners had fun too.
It was fun. I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, you're not going to believe this.
What?
I forgot to push record.
You didn't,
That's a
I
lie.
know. You're just joking. You're joking.
Almost.
You know, Mao, who can actually joke here and like lie myself.
Mao, you know what's the funny part?
What?
I recorded the whole thing, so in case you lost it, I had it.
Ah, damn it. That's probably smart. That's probably really smart.